Okay. Um, I hope this is technical difficulties. I'll try to resolve tomorrow using Linux. Today the Windows make a lot of problems. Do you hear me? Megasa and Tikele, do you hear me? Okay, okay. Thank you for come back again. So far we discussed the introduction about research, and also we discussed the source of knowledge. Now slowly we are moving to definition of research. We already discussed what is research. Research means researching, searching the fact again and again. Again, why we are doing again and again means we are making um, the fact supposed to be validated one. That's why we are doing again and again, searching the fact again and again by the way of doing researching. So research, the definition of research, uh, it says one of the comprehensive definition of research. It says research is a systematic process of collecting and organizing and analyzing and interpreting empirical data. This is like something like a comprehensive definitions. Just a minute. I am seeing Liben is also trying to connect. Hello, Tikele. These two people are gone now.
Yes.
These two people are gone now. Yeah, Magasa is coming back, but okay, let us wait. Liben, if he joins, we will admit him. So research can be defined as a systematic process of collecting and organizing, analyzing and interpreting the empirical data. So empirical data means whichever information you are collecting in the form of numbers, that is empirical data. So you need to do the process in a systematic way by collecting, organizing the data, analyzing the data and interpreting the data. So in this context, systematic means you need to have a methodology or orderly future of the so he is typing something. Just a minute. Someone can answer his queries because if I am going back again, it will affect the session. You answer him. Ask him to join using last link. So this systematic means it's a methodological process or a orderly future or nature of the research. So a methodology is supposed to have a research problem, then setting the methodology, collecting data, analyzing data, then interpreting the data. So this kind of a systematic process, if they are following, then it is a systematic one. So this methodological approach and procedure to be followed, including collecting of first-hand information from the field, and collected data has to be organized in order to produce a meaning. So this organized data has to be analyzed and interpreted. So if you are following this one, then it is considered as a research. So apart, there is another definition. There is another definition. There is another definition is also we can mention here that one research is also systematic investigations that designed to develop or contribute to generalizable knowledge. So any information you are collected or any data you are invented or you are collected, that is going to be developed for the purpose of a new knowledge or new generalized knowledge, then it is considered as a research. If you are collecting a existing knowledge, then it is not considered as a research. If it's supposed to be a generalizable new knowledge, then it is considered as a research. That's why research is also defined as a systematic investigations that designated to develop or contributed to generalizable knowledge. Then it also, a study must be systematic and designated, designed to contribute to generalizable or transferable knowledge, or you can say replicable knowledge, in order to consider as a research that must meet the requirement of human subject regulations. So there are 2 points. It's a systematic process. Then this process supposed to develop a generalizable knowledge. Even that generalizable knowledge supposed to be a transferable one. So in that case, if it is deals human subject, then it is considered as a research. The when so the research is going to be a different type. If it is done in social science, then it is considered as a social research. So according to Moneta, Sylvian and De Jong, social research is a systematic examination, or you can say re-examinations of empirical data collected by someone first hand and concerning the social or psychological forces operating in the situations. If you are following a generalistic research process like examining a systematic way of examining or re-examining the empirical data that collected someone by first hand concerning social and psychological forces operating in a social situation is considered as a social research. Or another definition for social research is a process in which people combine a set of principles, outlooks and ideas, or you can say methodology, with a collection of specific practice or techniques and strategies to produce new knowledge. Social research is a process in which people combine a set of principles, outlooks and ideas with a collection of specific practice, techniques and strategies to produce new knowledge is considered as a social research. Within the social research, since you are the social work student, the process is slightly differ from the same process, but you can add with a little practical applications, that is considered as a social work research. Social work research primarily deals with the problems, faced by the professional social workers. Most of the social work research, it's done within the practical settings or within the practice. So we pick the problems, social problems from our practice. So social work, it is the issues going to be issues faced by the professional social workers and social work agencies and communities in it is concerned with the social work functions. So mostly social work research primarily deals with the problems faced by the professionals, social work agencies and communities in its concern with the social work functions. In other words, you can say social work research, the problems to be investigated are always found in the course of doing social work or planning to do it. Either in your practice or you are planning to implement some program. If you are doing a research in relation to your practice or planning to do from your practice, then this is considered as a social work research. This social work research mostly draws its inference through inductive reasonings. So inductive reasoning means you are doing observations. Through your observations, you are come to collect certain informations. From that informations, you are going to make a theory, or you are making a conclusions. That conclusions, it's an individual conclusions. It is going to be tested with other individuals. So you are going to come up with a theory. That theory is going to be tested with the other. It can be applicable theory to other individual as well as. So it's mostly social work research using or draw inferences through inductive reasoning, that is inferring something about a whole group or a class of object from the fact or knowledge of one or few members of that group or class. So you with even from your one single client, even from your single casework client or group or client, or from your individual from group practice, you are going to use the same knowledge to other groups or other individuals. Then it is considered as a this is considered as a social work research. So it mostly using inductive reasonings carry us from through observation to theory through our intervention and assessment. There are purpose for doing research. Even for your studying this module, there is a purpose for you. Since once you complete this module, then you are going to be allowed to do a practical research. For doing a practical research, you need to learn this module. So once you finish your research, then only you are going to be graduated. For most purpose of your research is going to be it's going to get graduation as a bachelor of master's work. That is the purpose for you to do the research. So any research attempts to seek answers to the questions. That is a common purpose. A research supposed to be to seek answer for your questions, or it draw conclusions from the informations you collected. The informations may be commonly, you can say it's a data. So any attempts to seek answers to the questions or draw conclusions from the collected information is called it's a basic purpose. The research adds to existing knowledge. It's going to support or depositing the existing body of knowledge. It also attempts to improve our understanding towards the world in which we are living. Most of the research we are doing in social work, we are trying to understand the society where we are living, to develop better understanding about the society. That is the purpose we are doing research. Then there is a do you follow me?
Yes, I'm following you.
Okay. What about Megasa? Is around? Megasa, are you around? Oh, he is not there. Okay. So for research there is a philosophy for research. There is a philosophical idea. Mostly the philosophical ideas are remaining largely hidden in research. At any way, we are not saying openly about philosophy, but still it influences the practice of research, and this needs to be identified. If you are each and every individual, they have their own philosophy. So that's why we are saying in research, philosophy is largely it's a hidden part of research, but still it influencing the practice of the research. It will influence the individual who are doing research. So many authors were suggested that individuals preparing a research proposals or plan make explicitly the larger philosophical ideas they exposed or they own. So the philosophy will make our research plan, or the philosophy will support us to choose our research plan or research proposals. So it have a hidden agenda. The research philosophy will make or will direct the researcher. So this information will help explain why you choose qualitative or quantitative or mixed method of research for your future research. So philosophy of research will guide the researcher to choose methodology or methods or choosing research problem. In many ways it's supporting. Usually the philosophy it refers usually any philosophy. Philosophy means beliefs and assumptions about the development of knowledge. In terms of research philosophy, any common beliefs and assumptions about to develop the knowledge. Mostly the research is about to develop the knowledge. This developing knowledge, it mostly centered around our own beliefs and assumptions towards particular phenomena. So there are assumptions. If you are taking assumptions, there is an epistemological assumptions. If you are you have also ontological assumption. Epistemological assumption means you have valid and legitimate knowledge towards particular subject. Valid and legitimate knowledge, that is called epistemological assumptions. Ontological assumption means nature of the reality. You have some idea about particular reality. Along with that, that is, if you have valid and legitimate knowledge about particular phenomena, that is epistemological assumptions. If there is a nature of reality, you are not making any changes, there is a nature of reality, that is called ontological assumptions. Then there is an axiological assumptions also, that is called values and ethics in decision making. So this three come together, assumption, axiological assumptions comes together to determine your research design. So the philosophy is very much needed. All research is based on the assumption only. So how the world is perceived, how we can best to come to understand it, how you are going to look at the society, how you are going to best in understanding the society. Nobody really knows how we can best understanding the world. Each individual have different understanding, different type of understanding towards the society or towards the world. So the philosophers have arguing about more than 1000 years. They are arguing the importance of philosophy in research. So a researcher need to consider how we know about the world surrounded us or around us, what kind of philosophical approach we are going to follow in developing the knowledge. So for that purpose, philosophy is very much important. There are four philosophical worldviews were surrounded or followed in the society. In terms of in research, there are four philosophical worldviews were commonly followed. That four philosophical worldviews were picked by the researcher. Depends upon the nature of their understanding towards the society, towards the world. They will choose the worldviews. So based on that, they will set their research approach and research methods, or you can say design. So mostly philosophical worldviews support them to set the design and also research method. We are going to see in depth about each of the worldview. So there are four. One is positivist approach. Second one is constructivist approach. Third one is transformative approach. Fourth one is pragmatic approach. So we are going to see each and every worldviews, how it is going to support us to choose our research design. Mostly these worldviews support us to choose our research design. Then once you finalize your research design based on your worldview, then you can able to choose your research method. Either you are going with the qualitative approach, quantitative approach, or mixed method approach. Based on that, you are going to choose your research method. So positivism means it can be defined as a research approach that employ empirical methods, make extensive use of quantitative analysis, or develop logical calculi to build formal explanatory theory. So if you are using completely empirical method to make extensive use of quantitative analysis or develop logical calculi to build your formal explanatory theories, then it is a positivism. Mostly the positivisms were used in natural science. The social science, very limited way, positivism, some psychological studies, positivism is used. Otherwise, this research philosophy commonly used in natural sciences. So the researcher is an objective analysis of external world. The end product of the research are law-like generalizations. There is no deviations. This positivism, it won't allow to deviate. So it's just making a law kind of generalizations it will make. For example, 1 plus 1 equal to 2. There is no deviations. You just make it, or 2 multiplied by 2, it is going to be 4. There is no deviations. Something like a concrete formula. If you are making a concrete formula or concrete suggestions, concrete findings, then it is a positivism. So this it makes detached interpretations about that have been collected in the objective manner. So this researcher does not affect the subject of the research. The researcher is not affected by the subject of the research. Mostly the researcher play as an independent. He or she don't have any role in saying the subject. So they don't have any direct role. They are mostly played their role as an independent. They are not in any way. They are not going to make any influence. So that's the beauty of this positivism. So focus for this positivism, it's highly structured methodology and methods. Mostly people are using questionnaires to facilitate replications, and also observation can be quantified. This permits statistical analysis. If you are doing without making any qualitative analysis, then it is going to be a positivism. Then constructivist worldview. Uh, a social constructivist believes that individuals seeks to understand the world in which they live and work. So constructivism mainly giving importance to how the individual researcher is trying to understand the world where he or she lives and works. So if the individuals develop the subjective meanings of their experience. From their experience, they are developing subjective meanings. So the meanings directed towards certain objective and thing. The previous one, there is no direct connection between researcher and object. But here, object is directly connected with the constructivist worldview. The direct experiences of the researcher is going to be the objectives. So he is directly influencing the research objectives. So goal of the research is to rely as much as possible on participants' views of the situations being studied. So you are mostly the goal of this research is mainly relying or depending the participants' views. How the participants are look at the poverty, how the participants are look at or perceive certain things. That is going to be your study of knowledge. So the question here become broad and general so that the participants can construct the meaning of a situation, typically foraged in the discussions and interactions with other persons. For example, if you are asking the people, asking the participants to decide who is poor, if you are asking the question, many people are coming up with different viewpoints, but finally, as a group, you are come to your conclusions. This is going to be our criteria for choosing someone is poor, someone is rich. If you are evolving that kind of criteria, then it is going to be constructivist view because it is fully depending on researcher as well as the participants. So whatever knowledge you are generating, it is from the experiences of the respondent as well as the researcher. So this the third one. It's a transformative worldview. Transformative worldview holds that research inquiry needs to be intervened with the politics and political change agenda to confront social oppressions at whatever level it occurs. So this is very much important if you are involving in an action research. If you are involving in an action research, then you need to choose transformative worldview. I wanted to go with the transformative worldview because there is a purpose for our research. If you want to create a change among the community, then you need to choose transformative worldview because you are taking respondent as one among the actor to initiate your research. So you have an ideology, what kind of changes you wanted to make in the community. So if you are intervening, your research is going to intervene with the politics and political change agenda to confront social oppressions. Maybe in terms of religion or in terms of language, in terms of tribalism, people are oppressed. If you want to resolve that issue, you are using research as a tool to resolve that issue. Then you need to choose transformative worldview. So, moreover, this research contains in an action agenda for reform that may change the lives of the participants, the institutions in which individuals work or live, and the researchers' life. So, this research it's an more on action component to make changes in the lives of the participants, institutions in which the individuals are working or live, and researchers' life. So, more or less, if you have a specific issues need to be addressed using research, or you can say to speak to certain important social issues of the day. Then, for example, empowerment, inequality, oppression, domination, suppression, or alienation. Then this is going to be the effective methodology. This is going to be effective methodology for doing this kind of things. Then the last one or the fourth one, pragmatic approach. So, usually the meaning of pragmatism, you are not going to look at the world in a holistic manner. You are going to look at in a particular aspects. You are not going to look at the entire thing. You are going to look at only the particular aspects. So, pragmatism holds that most important determinant of the epistemology, ontology, axiology adapted in research questions. Epistemology means, we already discussed, it is about a legitimate knowledge. Ontology means it's an a natural knowledge. Axiology means it's a knowledge pursued by the values or ethics. So the pragmatism holds most important determinants of epistemology, ontology, axiology to adapt in a research questions. For pragmatists, the research starts with a particular problem and aims to contribute practical solutions that inform to the future practice. So here, the pragmatic research mainly giving importance to realistic issues or reality matter to be to pragmatist as a practical effects of ideas and knowledge is valued or enabling. So there are four worldviews. This is the fourth one. It is giving importance mostly to the practical outcomes. Then abstractive distinctions. It strives to reconstruct both objectivism as well as subjectivism, facts, values, accurate and rigorous knowledge of different contextual experiences. So, by considering different type of theories, concepts, ideas, hypotheses, not in abstract form, but in the form of, in terms of role they play as an instrument to the action. So, make this in nutshell, positivism means it stands for natural science. Constructivism, direct and critical realm. If you wanted to involve direct and critical knowledge generations, then you can go with the constructivisms or realisms. Transformative, it's mainly giving importance to social actions. Pragmatism, it studies the judgment about the values of the phenomena. So based on this, this table will give you more understanding. If you want to determine or following reductionism, empirical observation, theory verification, you need to go with the positivism. If you want to understand particular phenomena or multiple participations, meaning social and historical constructions, theory generations, then you need to go with the constructivisms. You need to develop political change, power and justice oriented, collaborations, change oriented. Then you need to go with the transformative approach. If you want to go with the pragmatics, then you need to consequence of certain actions, problem centered, pluralistic meaning, real world problem. Then you need to choose pragmatic approach. There are practical questions for Unit 1. You can expect some questions from this practical questions, you can able to study what is research, what is scientific research. Then you need to describe the meaning of social research as well as social work research. You need to discuss the importance of philosophical orientations into research from your classroom experience. For example, in your future research, what kind of philosophical orientation you need to follow? Are you wanted to follow transformative pragmatism or constructivism or positivisms? Which one you wanted to go with it? That's all for unit 1. Do you have any? There is a, just a minute. There is an assignment is also there. This assignment you need to do it. You need to do it in 2,500 words. So you are asked to list out and compare key assumptions of positivism, constructivism, transformativism, and pragmatisms. From your comparisons, which assumptions you wanted to use your research and state the reason for your assumption of choice. Here, what I am asking here, you need to list out and compare key assumptions of each items. Then you are going to compare each other. Then you are going to choose which one you wanted to do your research, future research. That's all for your assignment. If you want to choose, you can choose this one, or you can choose any other assignment come in the next forthcoming chapter. Any question? Any question? We have still 6 minutes time. We have 6 minutes time. That's all for unit 1. That's all for unit 1. My concern, go through the notes since it is an online meeting, go through the notes and also look at the PowerPoint. Even we can do question answer session and we are meeting tomorrow to complete. As of my class, unit 1 is completed, but if you have any questions, note it down. Tomorrow we will discuss in depth about the question. Any question? Shall I finish the session?
Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Jaga sir, you are ending. Now only you are entering the room.
Sorry, Doc. There is a connection problem here.
Okay. No problem. I will tomorrow morning I will post both videos.
Okay.
No problem. You can go through, you can also listen the video, you can read the material, you can look at the PPT. If you have any questions, tomorrow we will deal. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Have a nice day. Good night.